Oh boy, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And of course, it doesn't help with the fact that for this year and next year, propagation is just going to be the pits. It doesn't help at all. But yeah, it's interesting. Sat communications. The only trouble is, of course, it's just one to one, and it just doesn't give you the sort of feeling part of the world feeling that you have with single sideband. But yeah, that's an interesting comment, Graham. Over. Yeah, I've got a lot of noise on your signal now, so I didn't get too much of that. I presume you're talking about your son's boat radio. Is that correct, Over? Well, I tell you what, it's like that in Europe. Everywhere you looked, I sent a couple of pictures of being in the metro in Moscow back to David, and virtually every single person is sitting there with their cell phone in their hands. And I mean, everybody uses their cell phones for absolutely everything. Over there, they've got up to 5G now. It makes our 4G struggles look a bit silly, but absolutely everything is done on the cell phone. You have it walking down the street to know what you're passing. You have it to decide where you're going to have dinner or lunch. You use it for absolutely everything. It's a changing time. Over. Well, believe it or not, it was very good from that aspect. Yes, I came back to find that he's more than able to look after himself. So there's going to be a few changes in the household. He's quite happy to do dinners. I wouldn't say they're going to be very spectacular, gourmet-wise. Don't tell him that, but at least it's food, and at least he's doing it. So yeah. He did really well and kept really healthy, so that was good. Anyway, I better say good morning to anybody else that might have joined us. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, back again after a month away. And believe it or not, it's actually quite a nice morning here. I was getting, while I was away, some terrible reports of misery, rain and cold. But this morning it's only about 40% cloud cover now, and 14 degrees Celsius, 3 knots of northerly wind, and 1019.2 on the bar. So not bad at all, and it's now light. It's one of the things I had to get used to when I was away, was going to bed when it was light and waking up when it was light. Excuse me, I'm stopping for a cough. I managed to pick up a nasty bug, actually, that one of the girls on my Russia trip, an Auckland girl actually, had picked up in Morocco. So that slowed me down a bit, and I've still got it. But anyway, no, it's a very lovely morning here in New Zealand. I forgot to ask Graham what it was like in Whananga, but if the rest of the family are out diving the pass, it must be quite nice in Whananga this morning in Fiji. And I noticed quite a few boats in Tonga have moved on to Fiji now. So good morning to everybody. Is there anybody else out there? Oh, there was a couple there, and I've got a lot of noise here this morning. I only just turned the radio on because I have to admit that when I arrived back just after lunch yesterday, I threw everything in my bags out on the floor to sort. I did it for a couple of hours and went to bed. So I haven't tested out anything on the radio, and it's incredibly noisy at the moment. But there was a lady's voice there. Could you come again? The lady's voice, please come again.
Whitehall.
Oh, Whitehall, go ahead.
Good morning. We're still in South Minerva. We've got 22 to 24 knots of wind from 344 through, and about 10 to 15 cloudy with showers. This is where we go together.
Sorry, you're looking for a window to Fiji, are you?
Roger,
Suva. Okay, going to Suva. Well, I'm going to have to drag the old boy out. He said, I'm not starting until next Monday. And I said, yeah, but we told everybody that we were going to be starting August 1st. So I'm going to have to, I think we've got your email address anyway, so I will get him to have a look and we'll let you know by email. That doesn't sound very nice, actually. Cloudy and raining in Minerva, 22 to 24 knots of wind from the west-northwest there. Well, northwest really, and 10-16 on the bar. So you've actually been there a bit, because I saw you, how long have you been there now, over?
Well, I've been here about a week and a half.
Alrighty, alright, well, I'll get David on the job and he can have a look. Excuse me, I'm really coughing with this damn bug that I've got. Alrighty, well, I'll get him to do that fairly shortly. At the moment, he's ensconced in newspapers because I bought him back a Jerusalem Post, which was the only English-speaking newspaper I could find in Moscow airport yesterday or the day before, whatever it was, the Australian and the New York Times. So he's got a good variation of newspapers to look at, which has got a hell of a lot more news of them than world news than what we've got in our New Zealand Herald. So that's what he's doing. All right, I'll get him on the job and we'll have a look at that, but I presume he won't be starving in North Minerva because of the good fishing. All right, there was somebody else in behind Whitehawk. Who was that? It was a male voice, over. No, nothing heard. Did you hear anybody else, Graham? No, nothing heard there either. He might have lost me because he was going down in the depths. So I'll have to work out. Well, maybe somebody will pop up. Is there any relay for any boat that was trying to contact us? No, nothing heard. All right. Well, Whitehawk, I will hang on, I'm just going to make sure I have got your email before I get too carried away here. All right. And I see that I have to log in again to Yit. And just stand by. I'll just make sure I've got your details here. Oh, sorry. Yep, you're standing by. All right, I think I got the by part of it, and I'll just put the microphone down to make sure I've got all your details here. Oh dear, yeah, I've still got access denied. I'm going to have to get hold of Mike. He didn't want me getting into things like email addresses whilst I was away in the northern area there. So I'm going to have to contact him and get your email address. Which one? Have you got a sale mail address, over?
Yeah, here's sale mail.
Okay, just give me your call sign. I've got Whiskey Golf Alpha 54. What was the rest of it? 96. Okay, Whiskey Golf Alpha 5496. Yeah, he was just a bit concerned that it might be a bit risky. But interestingly enough, in Estonia, they have got the NATO cyber security operation in Tallinn. So things are very sophisticated over there as far as internet, cyber stuff in general, actually, which I suppose makes it possible that all sorts of things could happen. But anyway, I have to get hold of Mike and remind him that it's now August 1st and I'm back here in what he thinks is a safe land for operating on the computer. Alrighty, got that. I'll just do another call. We won't do anything more this morning. We'll wait and just to make sure that everyone knows we're back in operation. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, of course. Today we will just call it quits here shortly unless there's anybody else with any weather questions that I can get David on the job. Anybody else? No, nothing heard. I presume Whitehawk, you're the only ones in North Minerva at the moment, so it's almost time for a couple of the boats that needed to get back early to be coming back again, so you might have some visitors coming in the opposite direction. Alright folks, unless there's anything else, I am going to make one final call and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning. This is Gold Harbour Radio, ZMH286. Anybody else? Oh, there's Villamy. Good morning to you both. How are you and where are you?
Good morning, Susan Margarita. I think we just come back from the Lao. We're in Ocean at the moment. We're probably heading down from the Vibrant and now somebody was in the export by any other.
Yeah, I saw you enjoyed Matuku and places like that. So yeah, good signal from you, Trevor. And good morning to you, Jan. Yeah, what's the weather like down there? It doesn't sound very nice in North Minerva, over.
Lovely, possibly, and pretty much a clear sky for we're going to get the sun coming through on Friday or something.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad at the moment then. Yeah, I was actually quite surprised that we've got some decent weather here, which is good because I have a load of laundry to do after being away. There's only so much you can hang in your hotel bathroom. So yeah, all right. It's good to have a good signal from you. Chill, you might have a bit of problem with your cord from the microphone because it did a little bit of a cutting in and out there for a minute, but no problem with the strength, of course. Just stand by a minute and I'll see if I can find Margarita. I might need a bit of help. Margarita. Yeah, pretty light, but I think I've got you. Where are you? Did you say Niue?
Yeah, correct, Niue.
Oh, we haven't had anybody in Niue for a while. Yeah. Are there any whales around? Boy, I've lost you again. There was quite an interesting article, and Jan will be interested in this, in the paper this morning. They had quite a bit of news of it over the last week, but an orca on the northwest coast of America gave birth to a girl, and it died about an hour after birth, and the mother carried it around on her nose, they said, but sort of on the top of her head, for a week. And it's been gathering quite a lot of news, and there was a photo of it in the paper this morning. All right, David's not in the room. He decided this morning he was going to not come on air until Monday, so I'm going to have to get him cracking, and we'll definitely have him in the radio room here tomorrow morning. And I presume, have you got Sail Mail as well, over? Yeah, I just wondered if you had a question, I think, which means that if I wanted to get information back to you, I needed to be able to get an email to you, but I can't at the moment get on to that part of it because Mike has restricted access for me. I see, yeah, you've got there. heading to the Val. What's the weather? All right, well, what I'll try and do is get some information back to you this morning, Bruce, and David can have a look at the weather there, and we'll just see if I can email. Select. Yep, I can. You've got a sat phone there. But so you're looking to get going fairly soon. When did you want to leave? As soon as it looks decent. Over.
Well, we wanted to stay another week.
For you, it's really hard to pick you up at the moment, Bruce, but I'll have a look. Anyway, there's no rush then. I presume you're on one of the mooring balls there, and you're just worried about it turning around. And at Easterly, of course, you're pretty good condition there. So we'll see what that front that you're talking about is going to do, and let you know in the morning. And if it's more imminent than the morning, we'll let you know. But we'll sort that one out. All right. Okay, folks, we've got a couple of people wanting to get on the go. Whitehawk and Margarita Margarita in a while. Nice island there. I like Niue, and good for diving if you're into that. So another week wouldn't hurt. All right. Is there anybody else? I'll get David on the go. Well, there's somebody there, but I can't pick out who it is. It is pretty noisy here, which is interesting. I might have to do a bit of work on looking at what's happened around my antenna lines. It's usually connections, isn't it, folks, when you get some of these funny things. And there has been some pretty crummy weather here at Gold Harbour Radio while I've been enjoying the sunshine. So I'll have to have a look at that today, and it's good weather for doing it because there's not a breath of wind out there. Could anybody give me a relay on whoever else it was that was trying to get through? Nothing heard. All right, well, we'll be back again tomorrow, folks, and we'll be a little bit more intelligible then. I just wanted to make sure that things were working here, and it does look as if that's the case. I don't know whether streaming is working because I haven't actually got onto that yet. Well, I'm streaming, but I haven't got the system working on my computer. So we'll get all refreshed and retrained today, and we'll be back again with you all tomorrow. So this is Gold Harbour Radio wishing you, Patricia anyway, half of it, a good morning, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Cheers.